Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ Soccer, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin. It's Wednesday. Alan Ruff, as ever, alongside me, and Barry Ferguson here with us as well, to look at the Europa League matches coming up for Celtic and Rangers. We'll talk about Champions League as well as the emerging stories today. Yes, lots to discuss on the programme. Ruffy and Barry with me here. We're going to discuss Rangers in Moscow shortly, but we'll deal with Celtic, who had a press conference earlier today ahead of their match against Leipzig. And just looking at the positives, I think the first one is Ryan Christie, who revealed today that he's pretty close to getting a new deal done.
I'm hoping to, get something sorted with the club. Obviously, I'm, love being a Celtic player, and I want to extend my stay here. So, it is looking positive, and hopefully, me and the club can come to an agreement, quite soon.
Well, what a transformation, Ruffy.
Yeah, I was just saying there that it wasn't so long ago when we played Celtic in the Betfred. He was sitting in the bench, unstripped, in a Celtic team. He wasn't particularly happy about it. At that moment in time, he was thinking about maybe going out on loan again, but it just shows you how things can change. And he's been given his chance, and he's grabbed it, and he hasn't let anybody down. 3 goals, 3 games. He looks the part as well now, Barry.
Yep, I'm surprised. Look, it's took a few injuries for him to get in the team, but I tell you what, he's been excellent since he's come into that team. He went out on loan obviously last year to Aberdeen, but you can see physically he's getting stronger, and technically he's an excellent player. So he deserves his new deal, because I think he's been outstanding since he's broke into the Celtic team of late.
Yeah, the manager Brendan Rodgers also impressed.
He's been brilliant, Ryan, in this little spell that he's been able to get into the team. I was so pleased. I had a real good chat with him during the week, and just talking about presently how he's doing. Obviously what the plan was when he first came in, and just reinforcing that, but then to see the progress, it's a huge credit to him, because when he went out on loan, he maybe felt that there maybe wasn't going to be an opportunity here, but he's taken his opportunity when he was away. He did very well, done the things we asked him to do, and he's come back, and he's a much better player, and now what he has is, I think you can see he has the confidence to fill the shirt when he plays. So he's been absolutely outstanding, and if he can sign a new deal for the club, then it'd be absolutely great.
Strangely, over the last few weeks, Ruffy, Christie, positive news there. Celtic scoring goals, 13 in the last 3 games. No mention of Scott Brown. I mean, they've been able to take that body blow of losing their captain.
Yeah, but I think you've got to think about the opposition that they've been playing. They haven't been playing the quality of teams that they're going to be playing tomorrow night, and that's when you need somebody like Scott Brown. These boys have pushed themselves into a Celtic team in domestic football, and they've done well. The test will be for them when they go into European football, and it just shows you how much they've come on. There's Christie, and it could be in the Celtic team, might even be in the fringe of a Scotland team, playing in the European. So it just shows you, how much they've come on, and that's why I think some of them have got to be given a chance, to sort of bed in at that level.
Yeah, well, it's do or die. If Celtic lose, they're out.
I don't think they will lose. I think certainly in the last 2 or 3 weeks, as we've spoke previously, they're starting to motor now. They're starting to go up the gears, Celtic. I think their form's excellent. They're not at the form that they were the last couple of years, but they're getting there. But a lot of people forget, I think, he's not been mentioned enough. Callum McGregor's went into that holding role in midfield, and he's not looked out of place. Normally he's playing a bit further forward, but for me, when I've seen him in that holding midfield role, he's been excellent. He's ran the show, he's dictated the tempo of play, so he's been massive for Celtic since Scott Brown's come out of the team.
Yeah, the manager, fairly philosophical if defeat rules them out of the latter stages of the Europa League.
It's football. We will have done our very best, and if it's not good enough, then it's not good enough, So we will fight to the very end to qualify. It's a very good group, but it, like I say, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We have to move on.
Do you share Barry's opinion, Ruffy?
No, I don't. I don't think at European level that they've shown in any of the games, particularly the Rosenborg games at home. They were struggling to break even Rosenborg down. I think this is a quality side they're going to be playing. But certainly if they were to go and win it, I think it would give them a chance. And you would think at home they would do that. I just find they're lacking in the quality of European football to break teams down.
Okay, you can give us your view on that on our YouTube channel, of course, Facebook, as well as Twitter at PLZ Soccer. Just before we move on to Rangers' match in Moscow against Spartak Moscow, I'm going to deal with the other issue which has followed Celtic over the last 24 hours. They've released a statement today with regards to the conviction of James Torbett at the Sheriff Court, Ruffy. Celtic Football Club wishes to express our deep regret that the incidents took place and sympathy for the victims who suffered abuse. We are grateful for the courage of those who have come forward to report abuse and to give evidence after such a long period of time. We have great respect for them and their families as they continue to cope with the distressing effects of the abuse they suffered. And I think at this very delicate stage on this, because it could obviously have legal implications later on, this is a sorry situation when boys with dreams of playing for their favourite clubs suffer abuse.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really unfortunate because I think we all remember when we were young, if you had somebody responsible in the team that were looking after your interests to bring you through to be a professional football player, you were on a bonus, because these particular people who took charge of boys' clubs were so, just for the kids that were in the team. So to get some individuals out there who are ruining it completely is absolutely... It's terrible to even think of. People have been through what they've been through.
Yeah, even the managers, Brendan Rodgers, had something to say on it today.
Made a statement on that, and I think that's as far as what I would say on it. It's something that sits outside of me, of course. There's always my empathy and sympathy for victims of any charge against anyone. So. But certainly from the club's perspective, they've made the statement on that, and at this moment, that's all I would say.
Okay, on to Spartak against Rangers. Double blow here, Lafferty and Kent out, but I think Kent's injury is a real worry for a longer term, Barry. Yeah,
that's a massive blow. He's the one player that can do something different in the final third, which has been seriously lacking for Rangers over the last couple of weeks. I'm sure the manager will be concerned about that one. As I said, he's been probably Rangers' best player this season. I've been really impressed with him. But again, it's a chance for somebody else to come in and show they can do it. But I think he will be a big, big loss for Rangers. Yeah, okay. It's Rangers in Russia as we speak, getting ready for tomorrow's early kick-off. It's a 5 to 6 kick-off. Spartak Moscow against Rangers. Our reporter Gabriel Antoniazzi looks ahead to the game.
Steven Gerrard's Rangers will face Russian side Spartak Moscow at the Odkrity Arena, the stadium which England knocked out Colombia on penalties during this summer's World Cup. The game is a repeat fixture of a tense stalemate that the two sides played at Ibrox a fortnight ago. Rangers now sit top of Group G, level with Villarreal on 5 points, after a 2-2 draw in Spain, a 3-1 win at home to Rapid Vienna, and of course the draw with Spartak. All of Gerrard's players will know that winning in Moscow would put them in an excellent position to qualify for the knockout stages. However, they go into their fourth Europa League game off the back of a string of unconvincing domestic results. The Ibrox side were knocked out of the League Cup semi-final by Aberdeen and then drew at home to Kilmarnock 3 days later. Rangers did beat St Mirren 2-0 at the weekend to win their first match in 4, but it took 2 late goals to make the difference. The Gers are third in the Scottish Premiership, 5 points behind the league leaders Hearts and 4 behind second place Celtic. Spartak Moscow are bottom of the group with 2 points after a 2-0 defeat to Rapid Vienna, as well as draws with Rangers and Villarreal. The Russians sacked their manager just days before they travel to Ibrox, and fitness coach Raul Rianco will again be in the dugout after they delayed appointing a new permanent manager until after this fixture. Spartak have lost 4 home league games in a row and remain 6th in the Russian division, but they did beat Anzhi in the cup last week. Gerard's side already hold the record for the longest unbeaten run by Rangers in Europe, as they haven't lost in 11 games, and if his team can avoid defeat tonight, he will hold the record as the first ever Rangers manager to not lose in 6 consecutive away games in Europe, as well as putting the club in a great position to qualify.
Well, it's an enviable record. Barry Ferguson, Rangers domestically, it seems to be a different side from Rangers in Europe.
Yeah, I think they're more suited to playing in Europe, I mean, for the games that I've seen. But I don't think they've got anything to fear. I watched the last game at Ibrox. They were a good side, but they weren't a great side, so I don't think they've got anything to fear when they go over there. They're in a bit of turmoil. Manager's been sacked. The players don't look happy. So Rangers have got a good opportunity. I think they'll go over there, and if they keep it tight defensively, I think they can get a point.
A point would be fantastic, Ruffy.
Yeah, and I think they sent the benchmark in the Villarreal game. The players will be saying, look, if we can go to Villarreal and get the result we wanted, we could go to Spartak and get it, you know, and that the belief will be there that they can go and get something, you know, and I think they will. I think they'll get a draw out of this one because Stephen Gerrard has got them very, very organised away from home.
Yeah, a body blow with the 2 injuries though, no doubt about Kent, as Barry said, you need somebody who can do something a little bit different, especially if you're in a situation where there's no doubt for periods of this game they're going to be on the back foot.
Yeah, you need a valve out there, you know, somebody who can give the ball to run at people, you know, and get in behind them. And Morales needs that quality ball into the box, you know, they'll have to find somebody to do that. But I'm sure there'll be players there who'll rise to the occasion.
Yeah, here's the big question, Ruffy, and it's a tough one. I don't know if Barry is going to be able to answer. He's got that worried look in his face. Your old teammate David Weir says, you know, listen, unbeaten Europa League record, a place in the last 32. Many a Rangers fan would sacrifice that for stopping Celtic winning 10 in a row. Where do you sit on this?
Yeah, I totally agree with him. As simple as that. I'm honest that I think you would rather sacrifice. Look, it's great that they're getting a run in Europe, but they need to try and stop Celtic from being the main team and the team that's winning the leagues. Well, certainly over the last couple of years, Celtic have struggled it. I think it'll be different this year, but for me, Celtic are still the strongest team in the league. Yeah. But for me, Rangers have got to try and stop that.
What do you make of the gaffer saying that you know, he's looking in January to 4 new players? He reckons he needs 4.
I totally agree with him. I've said it many times on the show, Peter, that I think they're short of that bit of quality. I think they need a proper central midfielder who can go and dictate a game for 90 minutes. I still think they need a bit up top and something out wide. So when I seen that comment coming out, I totally agree with it.
Yeah, I think any manager will take more players in January. You know, it just depends on what kind of quality he can get his hands on and what he's got to pay for them or get them on loan, you know. But certainly when you come to the push, that's when you need to start bringing in quality players. But everybody says, I mean, who do you get in January? You get players that nobody else wants, so you have to be really careful in who you bring in.
Yeah, okay, we're going to hear, as ever, on the programme we always like to feature fans, vloggers, people who tweet to give us their thoughts on certain games coming up, and tonight is no different. We caught up with a vlogger on his own YouTube channel, Craig. He's a Rangers fan, to get his thoughts on Spartak Moscow against Rangers.
Rangers should be going over there with the mindset of really making a statement for the rest of the group and just putting themselves away. Because in the first tie, in the home tie, I really thought they should have put them to bed, so I think away is a perfect opportunity to sort that. Away from home, actually, if they remain undefeated in the next match, they would have broken another record for Europe for 6 games away from home, so that must be a massive thing as well for the players to do that for Gerrard, because he'll be the first manager to ever do that, and that just shows it in European football. They've broken record after record. 1 year where we were to here is unbelievable, so going into this tie, they've got everything to play for, nothing to lose either. Yeah. It's a bit fearless, if I'm honest with you, because I think in previous years in Europe we've been a wee bit cagey, but under Gerrard so far, we've really been going for it for the first whistle to the last day. They know they need to be at 110% to be even in the games at all, and I think that's motivating them even more so. European football and European nights as well is massive. I think we should be going into the game tomorrow with the mindset of really putting ourselves in for the next stage. That's where our mindset should be. It shouldn't just be happy to be there or we've done well, we're sitting top after 3 games. It should be go out, make a statement, and then take the last 2 games as they come.
Okay, so thanks to Craig. His name isn't CJ Novo 992, but it always helps because these days you get pelters, Barry, if everybody suddenly finds your name and then they start connecting all your family members. So even on YouTube you have to be ultra careful, but he's got a great following. And of course he's like many other Rangers fans who think, be positive, go out there, get a positive result in Moscow.
Yeah, you've got to. There's no point in turning up where you think you're going to go out there and get beat. I don't think, as I said previous, I don't think Rangers have got anything to fear with the Russian team. As I said, I watched them a couple of weeks ago. They were good, but no much better than that. So
we've sensed the confidence starting to ripple through the fans, especially Europe, because as Craig highlighted there, it's great. A year ago, European football was just fantastic to be involved in it.
You look what happened a year ago. You get put out with a part-time team for Luxembourg.
Yeah.
So there's been major progression this season in the Europa League. Hopefully they can get out of this and get into the last 32. But there's still that wee bit of concern. I still think they need to start motoring a wee bit in the league. That is a concern.
Do you want to explain to Ruffy what a vlogger is now, or will we wait till after the show on this? It's getting difficult these days.
We'll just wait till after the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll take him a while to understand.
To grasp it all. Anyway, I'd love to see you vlogging, by the way. Just before we talk about, give me your prediction then. Spartak Moscow Rangers.
I think it'll be one each.
Ruffy?
Yeah, I'm going one each as well.
Yeah, I think they're more than capable of getting a draw. Just before we look at last night's Champions League, let's deal with something a little closer to home. You've captained your country, your great honour of playing for Scotland. We're in a period now where I think a number of players are just saying, I'm going to call time on it. This latest one is Matt Ritchie, who quite happily will play for Newcastle, doesn't want to be called up for Scotland. MacArthur, Snodgrass. I think Kearney's a slightly different one because I think Kearney's hedging his bets thinking he's going to play for England.
Yep, it's disappointing. Look, certainly the players that you mentioned, I think they're more than capable of being in the squad. They're good players. It's disappointing that they don't want to be selected. Whether they've got injury problems, we don't know. Obviously, the international break gives them a bit of time to rest up, whether it's 7 or 10 days. But I find it strange that players don't want to be considered for the country because it's a massive honour.
Yeah, I don't like it, Ruffy. I mean, at times I think we appear desperate at the moment. As soon as somebody gives it, they're not available, I think, well, great, you're not playing again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm at that stage as well. I wouldn't give them the time of day. They can have whatever reason they want, to save themselves from injuries, which is fair enough. But if they don't want to play don't want to pull on that jersey, let's not talk about them. Let's just banish them completely and on you go and do what you're going to do. Yeah,
I like that, Ruffy. You're a hard man, but I'm liking your attitude on it. Quite simply, if we dare to qualify for one of these campaigns, you'll soon start to see more than a few wanting to get back out there. Aberdeen, 13,000 tickets sold already for the League Cup final. They're motoring towards the magical 20 with ease.
I think they will sell. It's a final. Previous finals have always sold out their allocation, so once they got to the final and obviously they were given 20,000, I had no qualms that they were going to sell them out.
Yeah, no surprise, Ruffy, that Hearts and Hibs have been hit with a notice of complaint for what went on at Tynecastle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way of the world just now. You've got, if these things happen in your stadium, you've got to be accountable for them. But I think both of the clubs, are quite well up and having to deal with what's coming their way. You
know what it's like, Barry and myself are feeling your pain at the moment, Ruffy. The Jags just can't buy a win. The latest signing could be, somebody that I think could get you back on track. Obviously, he's a fan. He's fit, looks the part. He drives a very fast car. I don't know about you, Ruffy, but the Hoff. I mean, give us an H, give us an O.
Well, I don't care what kind of football ability he's got, but I'd like to go out with him on a night out.
Yeah, somehow I think you and the Hoff share the same morals. Anyway, apart from anything else, it's good to see that celebrity fans. Yes. Always good.
I think it was Cat Harvey at one of our pantomimes. He came along on the stage, and I think Cat introduced him to Partick Thistle and Kingsley, and he's taken it upon to be one of the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Who was the biggest celebrity fan that you ran into in your career?
Oh,
there's a cracker, isn't it?
That's a good question. Probably most well known was Gordon.
Cameron?
No. Come on. Gordon Ramsay, a couple of times.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
What are you laughing
What
at?
are you laughing at? He's a
He's
top
a
chef.
He's a.
He never. Oh, just a chef.
Just a fan. Just a fan, Ruffy.
If he thinks he's
Listen,
a
he's
player,
all over the TV. No, I'm not.
he's a player as well.
No, but he was a Rangers fan.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, let's look at some of the European results. Last night, Liverpool 2-0 against Red Star Belgrade. You know, last year in the Champions League final, this year nowhere, Ruffy.
No, my team have got their act together. Atletico Madrid. That's a good result against Borussia.
Yeah,
Yes,
Hugh McDonald would have been
Yes,
inside the
he was
stadium.
at that game.
Madrid.
Yeah, but I think we're all trying to make our mind up. Are Barcelona and Real Madrid on the wane? We keep saying it every year. They don't look impressive at some of the results, but they always seem to be at the end. But if it isn't these two, nobody else is really firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, well, what, you kidding me? Barry and myself have picked the ultimate Champions League winner this year.
Yeah.
We've both plumped for Juventus.
the strongest team by a country mile.
Yeah.
Strongest team.
Who have you gone for?
If they don't win it, we
But
quite
he's went
happy
for
to
it,
sacrifice 10 of your points.
No problem. We'll shake on that. No problem.
What, you're sacrificing
That's
10
how
of your points
confident-
in the predictor?
Yep, I think I'm more than confident Juventus will win it.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, the good thing is you can ride off Real Madrid. They're not going to win it. Haven't got a goal scorer. I think the only one that could threaten them potentially is Barcelona, Barry.
Yep, I think that's the only competition they've got. Defensively, they're absolute rock solid, and going forward, they've got so many players that can win a game of football. So for me, they are clear favourites.
Yep. I don't think I still can't see any English club win it, Ruffy. I look at Manchester City. You know, Guardiola, I don't think he really believes he's got enough at the moment when you consider they've spent over £200 million and, you know, additional players coming in. But I still look and I think City are short. They're playing Shakhtar Donetsk tonight.
Yeah, but they also will be looking at Real Madrid and Barcelona and all the other big sides who aren't really firing on all cylinders. He'll believe that he's got players in there on the day, and particularly away from home, that can score goals.
Isn't it amazing? None of us have mentioned Bayern Munich. I mean, nobody really seriously considers them. But I'm looking at Juventus, Manchester United, and I just think it's one of those situations. I mean, Ronaldo's already come out and said that he didn't feel as if he was really wanted by Florentino Perez at Real Madrid in the tail end, so he decides to go to Juventus, and he's scoring goals. I think he's, you know, something like 8 and 12.
Yeah, and obviously Man United tonight, that you don't want anybody coming back and doing the damage, and certainly over there you would expect him to come up with a goal.
Yeah, okay. What are you up to tonight, Ruffy? I ventured out last night to a university to see the hothouse flowers, you know, rolling back the years, mixing with some of the trendy young ones. What about yourself?
Last night I had a nice meal up in Auchterarder.
Yeah, you'd had a few, hadn't you?
Yes, I had quite a few, yeah. Unfortunately, I had a driver.
Yeah.
What was up to last night?
Yeah.
I was training.
Yeah.
We had a bounce game for the guys that have not been playing the last couple of weeks, so that was good to watch them 90 minutes.
It's all going well for you.
Yeah, it's going good. It can always get better.
Yep.
Strive to be better, and I've said that to the boys, so things are going along nicely.
What's the hospitality like? Because obviously Ruffy and myself are getting ready for Kelty.
Listen, you'll be shocked. It's great. You'll be welcomed with open arms.
Yep, okay, there you are. There's the invite. Can't wait for it. Thanks to Craig, our vlogger, for looking ahead to Spartak against Rangers. Thanks to Ruffy and Barry, and from myself, Peter Martin. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.